innocent eyes, what up, what I? Smacking, burn a hole in my throat. Baby, I'm good. I need you alive. I need you alive. I need you alive. Baby, can't you understand me? You lying shit, take that as a pill. Doctor, phone with me. Not a minute, give me sanity twice a day. Die with him. No, man. Yes, I'm not to oblivion. Never miss you right. Hey, long ready for another wow. I need you alive. I need you alive. I need you alive. Baby, can't you understand me? I've seen it before. Incredible headache, incredible mode. We truck building models. God, ain't no drops of it blue. They truck building models. God, ain't no drops of it blue. I'm boxed out of the place, got rubbing all over my face. Deep tension, you don't clear. And touch it all everywhere. I've seen it before. Incredible hurdle, incredible mode. Big truck building model. Ain't no stops of it blue. Big truck building model. Ain't no stops of it blue. Then the rock and nothing to got my hair back. I turn it blue. Time straight, time straight. I've seen it before. Incredible headache, incredible model. Big truck building model. God, ain't no drops of it blue. Big truck building model. God, ain't no drops of it blue. Lots of it blue. Lots of it blue. Lots of it blue. Lots of it blue. You out on the Hollywood stars one night. What to the hillside, that's what it took for life. Bloody allies in its own dead play. Yeah, hillside stranglers dead. Yeah, hillside stranglers dead. One night by fans. King he killed till the blood runs red. Now he lies in his own death. Yeah, the hillside strangler's dead. Yeah, the hillside strangler's dead. really care. Better make the call, better do it right. What's with my light? It's time goes right. Get the momentum, gotta catch our will here. Bye-bye to the mansion, so back to the will. Nobody with the police or the FBI. What's with the light? It's time goes right. Just put your money in the right place. If you ever want a thing, now that I won't fight. Kidnap or rental, and get your will. Bye-bye to the mansion, so back to the will. Kidnap or rental, and get your will. Bye-bye to the mansion, so much you get your will. Got your money, can't afford no meal. Why do anything for a good deal? You got your money, can't afford no meal. Why do anything for a good deal? Kidnap or rental, and you get your will. Bye-bye to the mansion, so much for the will. Kidnap or rental, and get your will. Bye-bye to the legend, so much for the world champion. All right, up. Get that, all right, up. Get that, all right, up. Get that, all right, up. And get your way, yo, way, yo, whoa. Hey, can punk rock pay the bills? I don't think so. But you can have a good fucking time trying. Yeah, this is can punk rock pay the bills.
Where are those pirate hats, Billy Bones? Upstairs?
I'm just a lazy slide. Won't be a corporate slave. You come back to my grave. Don't you tell me how I should behave. Get punk rock, pay the bill. Get punk rock, pay the bill. Get punk rock, pay the bill. I don't think so. I don't think so. Can punk rock pay the bills? Oh, I think so.
Welly, welly, well.
Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Shake, shake now on your phone. Come on, kid, let's do it, let's go. Quit twist, ass in that head. Shake, shake, shake now, don't be afraid. Wow. Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Twin twist, still twist your head. Come on, girl, do it for me. Give power, pop, get your head. Let's all that West Coast and make. Wow. Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Nothing in the world is better for me to see. Shake it back at me. Nothing in the world is better for me to see. Everyone watch it. Shake it back at me. Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Right your bones on the time. Shake, shake, baby, yes and mine. Keep that wild high and I'll say. That's all night with us goes at me. Wow. Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Shake, shake. Oh, shake, shake, gonna get this way. Shake, shake, round the way. Shake, shake, gonna get this way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kevin Preston. Suicide, incomplete, suicide, incomplete, suicide again, 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 again. Again, 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 again. Oh no, not again! When you put a window, go from my neck, when I get you, get your face. Incomplete, suicide, incomplete, suicide, incomplete, suicide again, again, again. Again. Thank you.
Let's get ready, New York!
Wow!
Now what's the fight now? Why you care? An empty world now. Why you bad? She's a lot more trouble than watching why. Now that woman gave me a supper. Hey baby, don't you know it's fun? My friends all talk about. Baby, it's all in us. My friends all talk about. Don't walk you the eye. Good like cats only good on a back. Asking for money and I'm paying your bill. Driving girl, I got a little bit. Try to take me down for a walk, yeah. Try to take me da 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 da. Baby, don't you know it's fun? Somehow you don't talk about. Baby, it's alright. Somehow you don't talk about. Don't walk you the eye. Go like I told you back. Losing my mind is hard to say. It's so bad that I better be good. Losing my mind is understood. It's so bad, but it should have been good. Baby, you know it's fun. Somehow you don't talk about. Baby, it's alright. Somehow you don't talk about. Don't walk you the eye. Go like cats only good for sex. Do the edge, nah, do the edge, got that vibration. Thank you. This is a song off our new record, The Golden Age of Piracy. Song called Monet. you. Wow, all these people out there. Just sing along. So thing called I Don't Care goes like this. I don't care what I do. And if you don't like it, well, I said, well. One more time, I said, well. All right, I don't care. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Try to say free.
Playboys for your millionaires. Playboys for your sneak attack. Playboys for your change script. Playboys for your man. No more properties. No more bank account squeeze. Won't make it.
Going for God, Georgia, I'm better.
another one. Thank you. You are too fucking kind. So sing along, 1977, called Kill Me, Kill Me, Kill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kill me, kill me, kill. 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 Oh, I'm useless. I'm senseless. I tried numbness, and I'm brainless. Use the kind I know tonight. You just wanna take my life, take my life, take my life.
because you're mine. I walk the line. Come on! I find it very, very easy to be true. I found myself alone when I was you. Guess what I'm good, and I'm over for you, because you're mine. I walk the line. Oh, come on, you motherfucker! You got away to keep me on your side. You give me love more than I can earn. Are you alone? I know I turn the tide because you're mine. I walk the line. I keep it close while I'm trying to mind. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the answer all the time and fine. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine.
Come on now. You all know the words.
Give him the notes, Slug.
This is our last song. Enjoy it. Put that thing away, Slug. Put that slug away, Slug. Ready? Bones. Kevin.
Are you ready?
James.
1977, the Randoms. Let's get rid of New York. 1, 2, 3, 4.
New York, one time, all the bakers sing around. All big things that happen there. If it ain't New York, it's really square. Fashion now, it's really packed. Airplane jar, always crap. King Kong knew what he was doing when he left back down the road. Let's get Ray New York, come on. Let's get Ray New York, oh yeah, yeah. Let's get Ray New York. Let's get Ray New York. Fashion now is really packed. Airplane jar, always crap. King Kong knew what he was doing when he left back down the road. Let's get Ray New York. 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 They found a money left on Wall Street. But he had to take national. Every house in that second street. What kind of city would you New York, one town, bottle beggars sing around. All big things that happen there. Hey, New York, it's really square. Back, bring that to yo, let's get ready, yo. Let's get ready, yo. Come on. Let's get ready, yo. Let's get ready, yo. Let's get ready, yo. Do I, I'm so shit. Talk about jumping, New York shit. Do I, I'm so shit. Talk about jumping, New York shit. Do I, I'm so shit. Talk about jumping, New York shit. Do I, I'm so shit. Talk about jumping, New York shit. Let's get ready, yo. Come on. Let's get ready, yo. Let's get ready, yo. Let's get ready, yo. Let's get ready, yo.
Okay, so tell me how you got into the skulls.
I got into the schools by a guy named Brad. He started giving us CDs, and then we started to meet the schools, and I just started to know them.
And you're on a skate team, right? What's the name of your team?
Punk Rock Skateboards.
And they sponsor you and everything, and so you go around touring and skating and stuff, right? And events and stuff. So it's pretty cool. You got a band like Skulls coming here to play your birthday party, huh? Come on over here a little bit so we can see all you. A little closer. Get right in between those guys. There you go.
There you go.
Okay. So Billy, tell me what's going on here.
Well, we're here to celebrate Jordan's 9th birthday. 9, yeah. And we did it last year, and it's a tradition, I guess, for the Skulls now. Whenever Jordan calls on us, the milkman, we're here. You know, he's an awesome kid. I don't know what more to say. The guy's a really, really cool kid. What's up, guys? It's the Diffs.
I was telling him earlier, it's kind of like when Marsha had Davy Jones.
Yeah.
At her birthday party, right?
Yeah, right.
You got some pretty cool band playing at your party, huh? Yeah, they must think you're a pretty good kid.
Milkman's a drummer, too.
Are you a drummer? Yeah, you playing in a band now?
Me and my brother are trying to make a band right now.
Yeah? What kind of stuff you gonna do?
Huh?
What kind of music?
Punk rock?
Yeah? Think maybe the Skulls will have you play with them someday?
Maybe.
Yeah. I bet that would happen. Yeah. All right, dude. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We're gonna get you skating later, right? Okay, cool.
Cool, all right, Jordan.
Hey, there you are. So much.
Happy birthday.
My roadies.
All right.
Start them young. And you? Come on, you can carry. Yeah. Hey! Right on.
Now you're a roadie.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
I don't think we'll have you in the video.
Sophie, this is glasses. Why not? It's punk rock.
Okay.
Santa, let me see your sunglasses. We're here to celebrate the Milkman's 9th birthday.
Second annual for the Skulls and the Milkman.
I think it's going to be a regular thing.
It seems like it.
You know?
Yeah, it seems like it. But he's getting older and bigger and becoming a better skater, I think, by the month, you know. And a lot more people. Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
I was helping the interview.
This is Benny Siegel. Okay. What's your name, Benny? All right, Benny. You're a skater too.
I do some skating, you know, some music, whatever.
You're a Skulls fan, no doubt.
Yeah.
Let's see it on the show.
It's gonna be my
Tell me how
second
long
school
you've been
show
following these
for a
guys.
while.
Benny's brother did Ink Disease magazine. And we all went to the same high school together.
What a day.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Long-time friend.
It's
yeah.
coming back. You better watch out.
Yeah.
New issue.
Me and Benny are gonna do the new old school Ink Disease
We got some
lost
old interviews
issue.
that never came out, and we'll probably re-release some of the interviews, like the weirdos and stuff.
Oh, that'd be really
Just put together kind of a compilation one first, and with a few new things and a bunch of old stuff, and then get going with a whole new issue after that. So that should be coming out in a few months.
You gonna do some artwork?
Watch out for that. What?
You gonna do some artwork?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be a pretty big contributor this time because me and Benny hooked up again, you know, got our numbers. You know, old friends, you lose touch, you see, hey, what's up? Let's do lunch or a skate party.
There you go. Here we are.
So, Benny, you get in the pool too? You do all
I
that?
will try.
Oh, cool.
I haven't tried in a while.
I tried it once. That's it. It's enough to establish relevance.
Man of the hour. How are you, man?
All right.
Get out there.
Why you want me to skate?
Yeah, are you gonna skate? Right.
Yeah. That's not calling me broken bones.
All right, listen, very quickly before we do this next song, let's all sing happy birthday to the Milkman, yeah? Give me notes, Rob. Happy. What key? G. What one's that? G, I don't know. All right. 'But you're gonna have a good time trying, yeah?
Holy shit, that's one hell of a hot dog you got going over there.
Yeah, I want some of that.
Jeez. Plastic dog.
Yeah.
Go again.
Is that a good microphone then, or what?
Yeah.
Because it's a big one.
Is it? Oh, thank you.
It's pretty impressive from here.
It's German.
So do we look particularly homo right now, or what?
No more than usual.
I'm the one wearing the curtains, am I?
Okay, you guys just kind of tell me about, your relationship when you guys were hanging out together and everything, and what year and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we first met each other. Oh, when was it now?
Oh, I don't know. It was in that quaint little restaurant, wasn't it?
The Olive Leaf?
Yes. And the lounge.
Yeah, the lounge. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. No, we met at the end of the 70s when I was just a little kid.
In the Olive Leaf.
In the Olive Leaf. Rent boy. No, yeah.
wasn't it, end of the 70s? I used to be a little fan of the Addicts and used to go to all the Addicts gigs. They used to have all these mystery tours, didn't they? These coach tours, and they used to take big 50-seat coaches down to all the places where the Addicts played. And I was just one of the kids that would tag along, really, for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, and I used to just take advantage of all the little boys that would come on the coach, really.
Yeah. He was very gentle, I thought, anyway.
That's how you guys originally met each other. You were a fan of the Addicts?
Yeah, well, pretty much. But we sort of had sort of mutual friends. You know, like the sort of crowd, like Geordie, the manager of the Addicts, who's the father of two of the Addicts, Kid and Pete. Sort of ran a sort of a youth club type situation, and there used to be a whole bunch of bods that were all hanging out at the same time, all sort of cross-pollinated from different parts of town. And so we all kind of filtered into each other, really. But the Addicts was like a focal point in Ipswich, really. It was the only thing Ipswich really had besides a football team, really, wasn't it?
I suppose it was a kind of a, what would we say, a genesis for a lot of people, but it was it was something that a lot of people had got themselves attached to and made lots of connections because of that, because it was a place for people to go and just meet like-minded people, really. And, because of where we were playing and what we were doing, it wasn't that necessarily innovative, but it was, for Ipswich it was, because there was nothing else like it.
Ipswich was kind of in the boondocks, it's a sort of a town that's sort of isolated from a lot of other places, even though it was only an hour and a half from London. So, it sort of had its own scene going on. And really it was the Addicts that took that scene to London. And so that's how we met. But, then if you wind forward, say 4 or 5 years, and that's when we started playing together, because they needed a keyboard player, and they had one, but he got caught in a bedroom with 2 lesbian Swedes or something, and his mum sent him home, something like that.
No, it was just 2 Swedes.
Oh, right. But anyway, he couldn't handle it, and
turnips.
Yeah, turnips. And then so they called me up, or Geordie called me up and said, James, could you find a keyboard player? And it's just, I thought, well, fuck, I play piano, and
it's sort of like a keyboard.
It's a bit like a keyboard. It just press a button, different noise comes out, doesn't it? Well, in fact, different noises used to come out quite frequently. So I used to press all the wrong buttons, really. And then and we knew each other, obviously, and I knew all the songs, or most of them, and it just made sense, didn't it?
To some people, yes.
And that's the Addicts, pretty much what brought you originally to the U.S. James.
It was the only reason I came to the US. The first gig for me with them was in front of a few thousand people at the Santa Monica Civic. Talk about being thrown in the deep end. It was quite. I just remember being so fucking frightened. I got nicely toasted with Kid, and of course these guys are all old hat. They, just doing it day in day out. It was nothing to them. I'm fucking stood up on a big podium, and I just remember all these fucking girls standing around the podium, and like their heads were sort of just about where my knees were, and they were all sort of standing around there, and all you could see from the audience was my waist up, because the keyboards had this like skirt around them. And so I'm trying to keep my composure, and I'm playing all this stuff, like trying to do the Beethoven's intro thing, and I fucked it right up. Pressed all the wrong buttons. Instead of it going da 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 da, it went like bing 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 and stuff. And I just remember my fucking knees. Like, I'm standing on this podium like this, and my knees are going like that, just totally fucking shaking. And all these chicks at the bottom of this thing just looking at my knees, tripping out on my knees. It was just, I guess you had to be there, but it was pretty fucking bizarre. Oh God. That was my first show. So that's how we came. That's how I got here.
So you play bass now then?
Yes, so I took up bass instead.
Yeah. And then you end up in the Skulls.
And you guys are still hanging here.
Well, fucking hell, that's fast forwarding even further, yeah. But we all just stay close because I ended up marrying, you know, a lovely young lady here in California, and so did Mum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both fucked off from England and came and lived over here, really.
Okay, that's good. You guys happy with that?
Is. Well, I'm happy with it. Are you happy with it?
You got anything else you want to say? Or?
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. No.
No, I mean, you happy with that of an interview? You want to do a little more? Or?
Yeah, DEK are great.
Yeah, let's talk about what that is.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, just open your shirt a little bit.
D-fucking-K. What is that? They're a fucking band from Seattle and they're fucking great. And I recommend everybody listens to it. And that's not a shameless plug. I really think they are great. They are. They're a bunch of kids and they're just fucking amazing. They fucking blow me away.
Well, I know a bunch of kids that are better than them.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Well, I know a bunch of kids that knows a bunch of kids that are better than your bunch of kids.
These are LA kids. They're really hip.
Oh, I don't know. I think Seattle kids are hip too. In fact, I think they should all be joined at the hip because then we could all be one big hip and then it'd be good for everybody. Which brings me round to another point. All fucking bands that are pushing our kind of music right now should all be fucking on board the same shit, you know? I notice there's a little bit of backbiting goes on every now and again, and it's fucking annoying, because if only people would just like gel together and fucking get back to how it used to be 25 years ago, where everybody was helping everybody, this whole movement would just be huge again, you know? I mean, there's this undercurrent right now, but it's starting to get fractured and splintered again, which is such a shame. You know, and people should really fuse together. Anyway, I don't know whether that would come across right, but that's what I think. There's a reason.
That's very earnest.
Does he do that then?
No, it just says earnest.
Oh, does it?
Okay, any clever accents?
Clever what?
Accents?
Exits!
Oh, exits.
Exits.
Oh, right. I thought you meant accents or something, because that wasn't very clever, was it?
Well, I'm sure James could disappear up his own arsehole.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny how it's all come full circle, really. You know? We all had lots of fun back then in different ways. And here we are, fucking 58 years later, all having fun.
And you guys are neighbors here now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, somewhat, yeah. I know. It's nice to be in a band together and, you know, have a lot of fun and all that, but...
But it's better not being.
Well, no, but... yeah, but... No, I was trying to be a little bit sincere there, James.
Oh, right. Okay.
But, you know, I'm glad that we're friends, and we'd be friends whether we were fucking...
In a band or not.
Had anything to do with any bands or not, so that's
Well, I see you guys support each other's bands now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I see Monk get all the skull shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, another fucking skull show.
Paybacks.
It costs me $15 every time he shows up.
What? I've never been on the list.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what you charge me for showing up.
I'm on the list of people you owe money to. It's a different list.
Yeah, we got some good stuff. That's
Good.
Cool.
All right. Pass it around then.
We'll edit down. Whenever you're ready.
All right, about spring of 77, I was living here in Los Angeles. I came from the UK because there was nothing going on over there. And I always used to enjoy playing freeform music and jamming with, you know, different people. And I lived in a house with two other guys, and this neighbor kept calling the cops on us because, you know, we like to tipple a few drinks and play, and so I was out and about in the streets of Hollywood with no ambition other than just find a storefront. That's all, some cheap place that we could take over and, you know, soundproof it, and we'd be able to play there unlimited with no cops and stuff like that. And in the process of doing this, I found this basement, you know, which was in across the street from Musso and Frank's off Hollywood Boulevard. It's the old Cecil B. DeMille building. I would have a stage built in this open area of the basement. I was going to build a stage, and we would have these parties at the weekend, because I began to notice nobody liked rehearsing on the weekends. Everybody liked to do that during the week. And it was pretty boring, it was dead, there was nothing going on the weekends. So, anyway, that week, I think it's probably the Wednesday or the Thursday before the Controllers are supposed to play, this guy, Mick, comes down, Mick Wallace, and he introduced himself as a guy from Newcastle, which is a little bit north of where I was raised in Manchester. So we kind of bonded because of coming more or less from the north part of England. And he liked a lot of the music that I liked, and he was asking, can the Skulls, this band, play straight away? You know, that because the magazine Slash, and I'm going, Slash, what's that? This magazine had one issue, it had come out. He goes, oh yeah, because these people from Slash magazine want to see us. So I'm going, well, I'm not ready, you know, like I can't have, you know, because there was no sound, there's no lights, there's no production, you know, there's nothing there, just bare walls. So I said, I'm fine, I'm down for it, but can't you wait a week or so until I have it more together, and then it'll be, no, I got to do it now, because the deadline for the magazine, and then we'll miss an issue, so we just have to play. So my version of the story is I tried everything to talk him out of it, saying it'll be horrible, you know, like, what are you going to,
he's very,
you know, like,
very persistent.
We'll figure it out, you know. So finally I relent and go, okay, well, it's your thing, you know, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you know, to set up in the corner of this dank, dark basement with no lights and no VA. And so they came down. I don't think they even had a bass player yet. I don't think Chaz wasn't even in them yet.
And I remember Mick coming up to me. I hadn't seen Mick in 2 years. He was the first person that I met when I came to California. I actually lived with his family for a while, and we were really good friends. Mick, myself, and Danny used to hang out and get high and go, you know, to the Queen Mary to shows. Just did a lot of things, but I lost contact with him. And he came up there, and we saw each other, and he said to me, "Hey, how'd you like to sing in my band?" And that's pretty much where it was. And I go, yeah.
Because he wanted to play drums.
Yeah, because he wanted to play drums. And we had always, Mick and I had always, you know, we were really into Skulls and Pirates and stuff back in the days when I first met him and stuff. You know, we were listening to like Alex Harvey Band and Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. And we had the Axe Victim album. We said, hey, if we ever had a band, we'd call it the Skulls. Well, he went ahead and did it anyway, which was fine with me. And then he asked me, and I said, yeah, sure. So I went down. I remember going down there, right around the corner, and they were sweeping the place. There was Connie Clark was filling a refrigerator with something. There was like a little area kind of like blocked off.
Oh right, she was the masked soda jerk. She appointed herself the masked soda jerk. Yeah.
And there was somebody building the stage, I remember, and they were sweeping and cleaning it and getting it ready for something. And we went in and rehearsed. We had a few rehearsals with Danny, Mick, and myself, and I just can't remember who was playing bass.
Well, how'd you guys get with Chaz?
Well, what happened was we'd done a few rehearsals, and then there was Mick, and it was a thing going on with Mick. I don't know exactly. I don't know all the politics involved or what was going on, but for some reason he didn't want to do it with Danny, and he wanted to look for another guitar player, and you know,
he didn't. He basically not. Danny was a really good musician. What happened? They thought he had too much metal damage. You know, was their expression. That he was coming. His place was too heavy metal. Now that wasn't cool in punk rock. That this is really the embryonic. Later on, it became assimilated, but that was unthinkable. You know, playing metal licks. You know, kind of.
So was smoking pot for the most part. I mean, if you smoke pot down in the Mass, you were considered a hippie. I mean, I'm sure it went on, but for the most part,
weirdos were the biggest potheads on the planet. You know, and so was Pat Smear. You know, all this like.
But there was a lot of. I know there was a lot of.
The weirdos were different.
Pat Smear, he was different.
There was a lot of drinking and other drugs too, but I know pot was like kind of like, oh, you smoke.
Oh yeah, not to smoke it down there.
Yeah,
but it was people were doing it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we went down there and we started doing it. I sang a few things with Mick. I guess when Mick did the first show too, the song "Building Models," he actually broke models on stage.
He did. He had some.
Because he used to
plane. I think it's a model. Plane.
Yeah, he used to in his bedroom.
In his
he had
room?
him hanging
No.
from his ceiling, and I mean he was really into building models, and that's
the
what
room
had-
was still like that when we went
Yeah,
there.
we went and saw him. The room was hadn't been touched. But anyway, so we decided we were going to look for another guitar player, and I had met Mark previously at the Rainbow. That's where I met Nicky Beat for the first time too, when Nicky had like kind of Peter Frampton hair thing going on, and he used to wear like tape measures and Kotexes around his neck. But we used to hang out at the Rainbow, and that's how I knew the Dogs too, from hanging out at the Rainbow. And I'd seen Mark's band, Sky People. Mark was in this band called Sky People.
I
And
wish I could have seen
they
them.
were really, really cool. They used to play with bands like The Quick and stuff, and they were kind of like a glam sort of like really, really.
Glam Prague, you know, that he said it was like somewhere between King Crimson and the New York Dolls, which is like, what? You know, it's like a.
Yeah.
A
So,
bizarre,
and Bruce was in the band, his brother.
Yeah, a glam.
I remember I was at our rehearsal room down at the Mask, and I heard this guitar stuff coming from the back room where the Mau Mau's were, right? Or Rick Wilder.
Well, they're still the Brats.
They're still the Brats,
They
yeah.
haven't become the Mau Mau's yet.
Yeah, the Brats. And it's been going on for a while, just like guitar jam. So I walk back there, and there's Mark in there, and he's just jamming away on the guitar. And I said, hey man, what's up? You know, I hadn't seen him in a while. He goes, oh, I'm auditioning for this band, and I've been here for a while, and they told me they'll be right back, and it's been like an hour. And I said, well, hey man, we're looking for a guitar player. We're gonna get together in a little bit and rehearse. Why don't you come see what we're doing, man? And then he came, and I guess Chaz, who was friends with Backstage Pass, happened to be there a bit, and I'm not quite sure how Chaz came into the picture, but it ended up being Mark, myself, Chaz, and Mix, thank God, and that's where it started. And we rehearsed a bit in there and stuff, and then you had a show, I forget which show it was, but we did our first show at the Mask, and it was total chaos. We were really fucked up, man. We were drinking Mickey's Big Mouth with Chris Ashford,
and it was Rick Wilder was probably the first person down there, and I was dead shocked. It was like, wow, because to me, he was the only local rock star there was. It was like, oh my God, there's, you know, it was like a Wayne and Garth experience, because I'd actually seen the Brats, you know, when I first got to, you know, at the Whiskey, and I liked them. I thought the Brats,
they were great.
The Berlin Brats were really cool. So when this guy walks down, it's like, wow, real roast.
And we did it. It was like a 20-minute thing, just total chaos, crazy, but it was really, really good, man. People seemed to like it. And,
yes, it connected straight away.
Speaking of that, nothing was really taken serious. I mean, the Skulls weren't the Skulls to get a big record deal. The Skulls were the Skulls because we liked that kind of music that was happening, and we wanted to give our spin on what it was, you know. And but it was funny. I remember we never finished shows. We would like play for 20 minutes, and by then Mark's clothes were ripped off, or Mick had jumped off the drums and slugged somebody, or who knows what had happened. We never got to really finish.
Yeah, well, Mark's guitar, he had the Flying V guitar, which was broken, and he didn't have the money to repair the neck or get a replacement. So consequently, he would duct tape it, and halfway through the set, the guitar would be the Flying V in two pieces.
Yeah.
And
See that
feedback.
Now you couldn't do that these days, man. They'd be like, "What? He's got a guitar that's broken." What are they? You know what I mean? Yes, it was different back then, man. And hey, let me tell you something. There were great musicians. Like there was this band, the Deadbeats. The drummer was awesome. Of course, Gazy was in the Deadbeats too. They were an awesome band. And when Brendan was doing the Mask, it was very fresh, and it was an outlet for anybody to just get up there and do what they felt was their thing, you know. And obviously as time's passed on, there's been different variations of what happened. I mean, most of the stuff is derivative from what happened there.
But as far as the Skulls goes, what I like about it a lot is changing the personnel. You know, it flips, you know, and it's still the Skulls somehow. So when I thought it was fantastic, the idea, and I think it hits a really good nerve with Kevin. You know, he was only, 15, 16 when he started
17
in
when you started with us, yeah.
This is the new revamped Skulls, and I thought that was a very cool way of representing the band that never really got to stretch its wings back in the old days because they were gone. They'd broken up by the time anybody could focus on the scene. And so now it's become this amazing, you know, tight, compact band that it might necessarily never have been back in the day, even though it was much more fun and everybody was plastered. But I guess you can get away with that down in a bombed-out basement, but you know, it's really good. And there's Sean on drums, and it's really good, and Kevin and James too. You know, he's somewhere in between, isn't he? He's sort of,
yeah, he is.
So it's almost like three. He's between them age groups, Sean, right? And,
right.
And Sean and Kevin and you. So it's kind of it's just a really interesting concept doing it like that.
I mean, I'm very fortunate that I got to hook up with Kevin and James and Sean and be able to continue doing what I really love to do, and that's doing music with an edge that's hard and, you know. Well, here we are at Headline Records with my dear friend Jean-Luc, who owns this record store, who is responsible for me getting back into doing, you know, getting back into doing the Skulls. You know, one of the main catalysts for me to be doing this again.
Well, let me ask Jean-Luc, how did you come across that Skulls drumhead?
Drumhead. What happened? The store was sharing a spot with Chaser Merchandise, and Dave, who was the owner, he knew somebody. It was one of his friends, you know, and Randy was the name of the person. He was involved in the mask, you know, for many years, and one day his wife told me he wanted to get rid of some junk, you know, because he needed some space and stuff like that. So you know, I said, you know, okay, whatever, you know. I mean, we were talking, and one day she came in with this drumhead, you know. I just like, okay, what are you gonna do with that, you know? Say, oh, I just came in with just garbage, you know. I said, don't put that on the garbage, you know. We can put the drum head, you know, somewhere, you know, because something from the mask, you know. So she said, okay, you know, why not? I can ask Randy, you know, what if you can take it, you know. I said, okay, yeah, ask him. It's why he said, yeah, no problem, you know. The only thing I want, just don't sell it. I said, okay, you know, whatever. It's why I put the drum head, you know, on the wall. And one day,
he gets a phone call from me.
Exactly, got a phone call saying, okay, you know, where did you get the drum head? And I explained to Billy, you know, and I said, okay, I'm coming in. It's
it was the day that Sten Gunn, Mick Wallace, the original Skulls drummer, who actually started the Skulls, was not just the drummer but the original singer, had passed away, and I had gotten a call from my daughter, who was in Hawaii, who had a friend who had come down here, which the friend happened to be Kevin's sister, Alexanne, who had come down here and seen this and told Daniela, and she had told me, and I was on the phone right away, because you can imagine at that point it was pretty, you know, pretty intense, you know. And I said, well, I'll be down there. Right? And I had no idea. I mean, this is like, 20 years? I don't know. It was a long time, you know, that I had seen this. And I jumped in my car and I came down here, and there it was. You know, it was really, really bizarre. I can't begin to tell you how strange it was for me to see that hanging there. So I offered him a lot of money. You know, whatever I had, you know, I said, you know, I'll give you this, you know, I mean, you know, and John says, well, I can't sell it because it, you know, belongs to someone else, but you know what, why don't you take it home and keep it for a couple months.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
borrow it. You know,
Borrow
just
it,
like
you know?
it belong to you. You know, just the only thing I told you, just like don't sell it. Just because it doesn't come from me. Just like from a friend who just give it to me, give it to the store, just because he wanted to throw away. But so that is the.
Yeah, so I mean, it was weird, and so I took it with me and just put it over my, on the wall, hung it up on the wall over the fireplace, and stared at it for a couple months. And Christina, my wife, actually took a photograph of it, and we ended up framing it because I knew I was gonna have to give it back to him. And then he gave it to me as a Christmas present, which is really awesome, man. So yeah, now it's in my house. But yeah. And I knew right away when he said that, I go, this is a really, really cool guy. Who's gonna tell you, who's gonna tell you, go ahead and take it, I was like, God, man, I was like,
I trust.
No, yeah. We hit it off right there, man. And then, it's funny enough, the first thing that I ever did as far as getting back into the doing music was in John's store with Kevin's band. Called Left Out XXX, and they had wanted to cover a Skulls song, and I came down to see them do it, and then they wanted me to get up and do it with them, and I did it. I remember standing about right here. I got down, I was like out of breath, and John says, "You need oxygen," right? Remember he said that to me.
Yeah, after one song.
Yeah, only one song, but it was a ripping song though. Yeah, we definitely tore it up, and that was And then, so that's what happened, and we just kept, and it just evolved from there. Yeah. And then he put out our first record.
So did Kevin's band play here at the store?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me that.
Yeah, Kevin's band, Left Out XXX. Kevin had approached me because he had found out through my daughter that I was a singer for the Skulls, and Kevin knew more about the scene back then than I did. I mean, he just, he read books, whatever it was, he was really, really into it. So he wanted to meet me. So he came to the house and we met and stuff. And he asked if he could cover a song. I said, why don't you do them all? I said, you can cover them all. They're not, they're just sitting there. Just, take them all. I don't care. They're just collecting dust, But anyway, he did the song. They did Kill Me, Kill Me, Kill, and he had asked me to come down and see his band, and they were playing here at Headline, and we came down, and sure enough, he roped me into getting up there and doing it with him. I wasn't expecting to do it. I was just coming down to, to see him, and I did it, and I just felt it. It felt really good, and I just, it made me really want to get back into it,
Actually,
for what it was worth.
Actually, that night was a good night because the time was at the store because we had this picture. You remember?
Which one?
The you when you song this song.
Oh, in the newspaper.
In the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the time. Also, I have the paper. In my pocket.
Just a picture of me singing in the paper. I was like, okay, it was pretty cool, man, and so, it just, I just said, this is what I like doing, this is what fuels me. I love punk music, man. I love, entertaining, and now there's a younger audience, and I really get off entertaining the kids and stuff, and, but it really the second time round all started right here at Headline Records,
So tell me, Jean-Luc, did, So the drum head didn't come from Dave Naz, it came from one of his friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was working
Trash Can School.
Oh.
Wasn't it Andy?
From Andy?
Andy.
Andy had the
Andy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Andy, that's right.
Yeah.
Because he was a sax player back in the days of
that's one of my favorite bands too, is Trash Can School. I love those guys, man.
Yeah.
And Rebecca was the
Yeah, Rebecca's a real good friend of mine too. Yeah.
She was making those
the pillows,
those bags and pillow, all those things, and Dave was selling those stuff through
Chaser.
Through Chaser,
right?
It's why I knew Rebecca, I knew Andy. You know, every time I call him Randy.
Well, Rebecca and Randy's in.
You know, it's
Randy.
yeah, there you go.
Every time, it's just you know.
No, they're both super cool people.
And Andy's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He was just actually so funny because Andy and Christina and I used to hang out a lot together. In fact, Andy and Christina were in a band called Arthur J and the Gold Cups, and Andy was a sax player. That was a really cool band back in the Mass days. It was Brendan on drums. Let me think if I can remember the whole. It was different. I know Gaze X was in the band, and both Bruce and Mark Moreland were in the band. Kelly Quinn on keyboards, and Spaz Attack, who was the singer. And in fact, Spaz went on to do stuff with Bowie. He danced on the Glass Spider tour and stuff. But anyway, he fronted this band, and my wife Christina and Vanilla and Kathy were the Cupcakes, and Andy played saxophone.
Andy played sax. That's cool.
Yeah, and then
small world.
Yeah,
it's really small world.
Yeah.
When
Very cool.
See,
I'm glad I asked about that now. You know?
Yeah, it's very funny, you know, when everything, you know, the circumstances, you know, like I said, I mean, I knew Dave for a long time, you know, with Chemical People, you know, and everything. So I knew him for a long time, and after that, when we decided together to have this location, to put Chaser in the back, Airline in the front, and after that, you know, met, you know, Andy and Rebecca, you know, and after that, you know, Andy wanted to throw away, you know, some junk, you know, or just that, actually, boom, you know, and now, you know, it's very, you know, sometimes it's a very, very small world.
It just goes full circle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
what a bunch of talent, Dave Naz and Andy and Rebecca and you guys.
It's very, very strange sometimes.
People, yeah. Very cool. Let's talk about your location here so people know where to come to buy their cool skull stuff.
The location?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on Melrose. On Melrose, 7706 Melrose Avenue. And we just moved like a few months ago to a smaller location. And because we can't do any more shows, unfortunately. And that's it.
Jean-Luc's going to be a dad, too.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
very soon.
First one?
Yeah, first.
All right. Cool, Cool. Join the
Yes.
club. But it's time to buy a station wagon, huh?
Yeah, they really are very instrumental in what's happened.
No, I mean, it's just, I don't think so. I mean, it was like, you know, I don't know.
Now, did you know the skulls before you got the drum head?
No.
No?
No.
Now, when you got the drum head, did you research it?
No, why I kept the skull drum head is just,
cool.
First of all, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Second of all, come from the mask.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of music in general, you know. So when you're talking about like a real, you bring me a real flyers, you know, or a real thing, you know. For me, it's a piece of art. It's a, you know, it's. I mean, after 20 years, it's always difficult to find something, you know, not real, but something, you know, who is not totally destroyed.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
So when you have something, you know, you say, wow, you know, just why to throw away? You know, it's a piece, you know, of history, especially LA. You know, LA. It's one of the most famous town, you know, in the world, punk town.
Yeah.
It's a punk town, you know. So it. I'm not saying it was a shame, but you know, it was a little bit stupid to say, oh, it's something from the mask, you know, and threw it away like a piece of junk, you know. I mean, you know, people were living and feeling about stuff.
I know people that got pieces of the wall from the mask. They just, or you know, just ripped off the wall.
Exactly. It's what. You know. It was it was a circumstance.
History.
You know,
it's important history. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's very important.
It's a piece of history. You know.
Yeah.
So I kept it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, Bruce was the MC, man. He was the
mask, and then so Bruce was in the Weirdos, I guess, at the same time as when you get in the Skulls, isn't that how it happens?
Yeah, I was in the
Like,
Weirdos when Mark was in the Skulls, and then
Yeah.
wait, and I also did the for a brief time I did the Controllers. I did the mass benefit with the Controllers, and
You played with us at Larchmont.
played
That's
with
when
you guys
came
at
out
Larchmont.
naked.
I
You
played
came
with
out
the
naked.
Bay City Rollers
He
outfit.
wore the
We did
bass.
Saturday night, and by the end of the song, I was naked on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the when the Go-Go's played and they pissed on their equipment and stuff from up above the didn't they, was it in a big place you could stand above the stage there?
Oh, that was the Elks Lodge.
Oh, the Elks Lodge.
Isn't that where they had the
okay.
benefit?
Speaking of pissing, I remember one time when we played in Orange County.
Oh, no.
At Deseret, no, at the Cuckoo's Nest.
You broke the surfboard.
And I was trying to break the surfboard, and you
peed on it.
You pissed in the dressing room, and a girl down in the ticket booth downstairs, the piss was dripping on her. I remember that, and that was this big fight that night. Yeah, and we played there, and then
remember Mark played with the bags, so from the mass benefit too. He did he played with
That's
the
right.
bag on
On
his
his
head.
head. That's right. That's right.
That's why it's one of the better bags that that recording gets so good. It's because of you,
Mark and somebody else that played that. Besides, that wasn't usually in the bags on drums or something that night.
Was it Nikki Beat? I think
Might have been
Nikki, I think it was.
or Joan and Nini. Or
It was Nikki.
I really thought Steve was going to die that night because when he was singing "Kill Me," they had spilled beer, water all over the floor, and remember that? And then
Mass
somebody
benefit.
smashed a can,
Oh yeah,
and you were
that was the mass
bleeding.
benefit. You were naked in that one too.
And he's like, "Kill me, kill me!"
Yeah, and that's right. That's when I got the shit shocked out of me because the mic fell into that puddle of beer, and I reached for it, and I grabbed the mic, and it just slammed me right into the drum kit. Man, I've never been shocked in my. That's Rick Elrick.
Rick Wilder.
Rick Wilder.
And I hear he's actually still alive.
Yeah,
His
can you
legs
believe
still
that?
support him.
I saw him. It was like next to nothing.
There's Penelope for the Avengers and Jimmy Wilson.
Yeah, Jimmy Wilson. Yeah.
They were great live.
Nationally, and they know. Eddie knows Mark.
He knows me too. But Van Halen, Mark's first band from San Gabriel Valley was called the Sky People.
Right.
We were like a glitter, progressive, heavy metal band.
Cross between
with 6-inch platforms and red tights and paint on our face like Hawkwind, Lemmy's old
Are there
band.
any tapes?
And
that's what I wanted to ask you. Are there
I
any
know
tapes?
everybody
There's
keeps
nothing.
asking
But
for
Freddie
tapes.
has pictures
And it's,
with the hair, or your mom, or did I see it at your mom's house?
There's pictures. I have pictures
there's
of
pictures.
that. Yeah, and
Of
we
Sky
sounded
People.
like a cross between Gentle Giant, Spiders from Mars, and Black Sabbath.
They were quite saw with Starwood.
We had gay dancers on stage that would do this improvisational dancing to. I mean, we were the original Spinal Tap, but it was funny. But
I think I saw you with Quick, didn't I? Did you guys play with Quick?
Yeah,
The Quick
Quick.
at Starwood, I think it was.
And then we ran into that band, the Dogs, came out from Detroit, and they saw us and played with us in West Covina at the Elks Lodge in West Covina. And I was 15 years old in that band, 16 years old, and Mark was like 16, and we played. It was like the Quick came out, but was it the Quick Kim Fowley's band?
Yeah.
There was them
Danny Wild.
and another one of his Kim Fowley's bands came out or the Dogs came out to West Covina, and we met them, and that's how we ended up getting into punk rock and living in LA. I had a van that me and my brother would drive out here from West Covina, and it broke down on Gower Street where they lived, and the Dogs lived in one place, and then Blackie Lawless and Arthur Kane lived next to him, and so my van broke down across the street because we came out to visit him, and then me and Mark just kind of lived in my van.
I used to come visit you in your van.
Yeah, okay, and then we start
That's right.
then we start living with the Dogs, and the Dogs kind of got us, acclimated, to some of the musicians out here. And Mark actually was romanced by Blackie Lawless and Arthur Kane to play with him. So he started. Mark was like actually rehearsing, I think, with Blackie Lawless. He could have been the next Wasp. Eddie Van Halen. When we used to play the Sky People, we used to play with Van Halen at this place called the International Casino in Duarte, and it was a bowling alley that all the San Gabriel rock bands played in, and And so we used to open for Van Halen all the time, and they really liked us because we did they did all cover songs, and we did like a few cover songs, but the cover songs we did, he really liked. We do like Spark songs, and just songs like that, like, Spiders from Mars and stuff like that. And Eddie kind of dug the really fringe stuff. He wasn't like, he didn't really like the, Kiss and stuff that they were doing, and but that's what Van Halen was. They did all like Kiss, Ronnie Montrose, and just Led Zeppelin, and they started mixing it. Then after we'd play with them, and Eddie liked us. They started mixing in more originals too, but they kind of liked us because we were so different. So they'd have us open for a lot of their shows, and Eddie was actually really nice. We were young and couldn't get our equipment anywhere, and Eddie would come to West Covina, pick up my bass amp and our amps and bring them out to Doherty and then drop them off the next day and stuff. He was a really nice guy. But yeah, that's how we got to know him. At the time, you had to go through a lot of self-acceptance to realize that you actually liked punk rock. I mean, it was like if you were any kind of musician, like people that were, quote, like, real musicians, or like really frowned upon it, and just really looked down on you, like, why would you like this shit? It's garbage. There's no musical value to it at all. Anybody can play it. It's just, a little, whatever. And it's funny because a lot of the early punk musicians were actually some of the better musicians around, jazz musicians, stuff that just wanted to do something completely.
Sean McAfee and Bone Break, they had classical training, Bart Moreland, Joe Ramirez, playing punk rock on his Strat, and Randy Stadola, Diane from the Alley Cats.
Oh, yeah.
Danny's girlfriend.
Is that Bruce?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, that's you,
choker.
Bruce Barth.
Yeah.
There's
See, I could have, I could have sold those chokers years later for,
You're putting too many bands on. There's too much. People can't handle
Brendan, who is
5-6
this,
bands.
man? Who is this?
That is, I think it's Johnny Ramone.
That's Joey. Yeah, Johnny. That's what I thought.
It is.
Did they play there?
No.
Oh, I love this one.
He was just down there. Yes, he was just
Yeah.
down there. Yeah.
Love that one. That's
Dee Dee came down too.
that's really the
There's
epitome
Mick
of
right there.
Mark and Billy Bones.
That's great.
That's how Mark would end up.
Ladies of the Mass.
Everybody rip his clothes off, that's right.
He would never kick anybody. He would never shut. He would just let them rip the clothes off.
Every time.
And the girls would jump on him. He'd end down in a pile, his guitar here, and then he'd get right back up and catch the next song.
Because he was so shy, everybody wanted to rip his clothes
I know.
off.
And the skull belt with the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her fingering there to say that this woman can't
That's a
play
great
is
shot.
bullshit.
Hey Kevin, why don't you introduce Bill for us here?
Yes, this is Bill, Doctor Strange, better known as Doctor Strange.
Mr. Doctor Strange.
Mr. Oh, God, I get too comfortable.
You're fired.
Sometimes, yeah.
Need a replacement guitarist. Well, originally I got into the Skulls. It's kind of an embarrassing story, but I'll tell it anyway. It was probably about 2 years ago. I was driving through a really bad part of LA. And I was lost, so I pulled up to this business, which I didn't know at the time was an adult bookstore, to ask for directions. So I'm walking in, and this guy, which was Billy Bones, is walking out, and he's begging me for 50 cents, in quarters to continue on with the videos. And this place was like really seedy. They specialize in bestiality, like cows, sheep, donkey shows. And I'm not, gonna judge a fellow pervert, but it kind of grossed me out. But ever since that, we became friends, even though he still owes me the 50 cents.
A common interest thing.
It's a common interest thing, yeah, No, it was at the class of 77. The class of 77 was, what was it, a 25-year anniversary of the early LA punk bands, basically. And so my wife, Crystal, and my buddy Hot Dog Boy, we went out there, had to see it. It was a show that could not be missed. I obviously knew of the Skulls, but only from the What Records compilation. Other than that, I'd never seen them. They were a couple of years before my time. So I saw them, and At first, I thought most of the bands were going to be just going through the motions. But I was really, really blown away by the Skulls. They took it seriously. They practiced. I could tell they had it down to a science. And they were phenomenal. And I actually got hooked up with them through a mutual friend, John Luke, at Headline Records. And because of him, we met. I met with James Hardslug, and the rest is history.
You know what I'm noticing that's real cool about this whole thing with the Skulls is there's a real family kind of feeling, right? And I'm noticing it now with you, with Jean-Luc, and now with Finger. But all you guys are like competitors, but you're all working together on stuff, you know?
Definitely, that's the most important thing, is acting like a family. That's the way I've always thought of the label. Everyone on the label is part of a family. A lot of times, other people don't really get that. The Skulls get that 110%. You know, no matter what happens to the Skulls in the future, whether they're on Doctor Strange or not, it doesn't matter. I sincerely wish them nothing but the best. They're the nicest guys out there. They're one of the best bands I've ever seen live. I've seen a lot of live bands. They're one of the best bands I've ever seen live. And they're truly sincere people.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And Kevin, tell me about that, because I've noticed just hanging around with you guys that there is like a really like a family atmosphere with all you guys. It's much more than just a band, you know?
Yeah, well, we just kind of fell into just a good group of people, you know. A lot of bands aren't as fortunate as we are. And I couldn't really tell you how it happens. I guess it's just because we're all really, you know...
It happens because you guys project
that.
I
guess, yeah, exactly. We kind of project that. And that's kind of how, you know, we met. I can't really say that much for like the old line, you know, the past lineups of the Skulls, but definitely Billy, James, Sean, and myself, we all kind of just got into it because we all liked each other, you know. There's a lot of bands, you know, and I've been in a lot of bands where, you know, there's certain members that just don't like each other, but you kind of just keep it going. Definitely not like that with us. That's what's kind of kept it together. That's what keeps the creativity flowing. Is just we've got this PMA.
It's a puzzle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys fit together well.
Well, Kevin, I know you're the youngest one in the band, right?
Yeah.
And you knew of the Skulls before you hooked up with everything there, right?
I've been into punk and rock and roll.
Oh, I'll watch.
No, come on in, Billy. Get in there. Do you know about the Skulls prior to meeting Billy?
Yeah. Well, I've been going to records like when I guess it's kind of savvy, but when other kids were playing football and stuff, I was always going to record stores and just looking at all the cool records. It's the same story as a lot of musicians, but it's the truth, you know. That's what I did. Every day when I got home from school, I'd either, you know, listen to music or I'd go look for music. And one day when I was at this old Granada Hills record shop called Roundhouse Records, they had an English guy, you know, he owned the shop and he'd bring in all these cool things from the UK. Anyways, one time he played me the What comp, and he also had the Live at the Mask compilations. And I'm not positive now if he played me the Skulls, but I know he played me the Germs and a lot of those bands on there. I was like 12, and that's when it all started, you know. So I definitely heard of him just from going to his shop and seeing his LA stuff. But yeah, definitely. In my opinion, you know, the original lineup of the Skulls, they were, you know, among my 5 favorite LA punk bands, you know, 5 favorite punk bands, you know, not even just LA.
I hooked up through with the doctor here through somebody else who was also, I guess you would say, a fan of the Skulls, who was into the Skulls. Greg McWhorter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Greg McWhorter.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he said, you know, we were looking for someone to put out the stuff, and he said, well, you need to get a hold of Bill. And I guess James got a hold of you. Was it James first? Got a hold of him, and
he seemed like a cool guy, and came down the same day, and that was it. It was that simple.
And it was just really cool, you know, getting together with Bill and stuff, because right away we hit it off, and you know, he took a chance on us, I guess, you know. It was because, I mean, we didn't, I don't know. we didn't know what to expect really. We were just trying to, we liked what we were doing and we wanted to get it out there, and we didn't have an avenue, and we hooked up with Bill, and it just turned out to be awesome. You know, it's like 3 years ago.
Yeah, going on 3 years. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
it's been that long.
And he's been great, man. I mean, anything that we want done, he's taken care of for us, you know. And
I try.
Yeah.
Tell me about the response you've gotten.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about your fan response that you see. You know, these guys see it direct. What do you see?
The response has been great. You know, especially, well, I saw them getting more and more people at their live shows even before the first record came out. But then it's a good thing to see, you know, the record comes out, we're at a gig, you're playing those songs, and people are singing along. And every single show you do, there's a few more people, People know you guys. And I see kids coming into the record store, you know, wearing your shirts, your patches. And, you know, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be, a foundation. You know, you take your time, you build a foundation, and, you know, and hopefully it all works out.
Bill's sharp that way. He maps it out. You know, it's true. You everything that you've said has happened, and it's very cool the way you've done it. I mean, obviously you know what you're doing.
Well, I have a unique perspective because I have the record label, and I have the mail order, and I have the record store. So as opposed to other people that have a label, I have the store, and I know exactly who is buying your records. You know, kind of what goes through their mind, the psychology of it. So I have a different way of thinking because of the people I come in contact with, like the kids that are here now, you know, so. And I'm really, I love doing it. I'm a workaholic, you know, and every single release I do, I try to outdo the last one. So.
Tell me where your store is.
Okay, well, the record store, well, real briefly, I started the mail order 15 years ago, the label a year after that, and the record store 6.5 years ago. It all just started off as a goal, just as a hobby, just for the fun of it, you know, and that's the way it should be. I always try to instill that on kids that come in here, kind of be a positive influence. Do what you want to do, you know, don't do it for the money, because you're going to hate your life. As long as you enjoy doing what you're doing, you'll be successful. So anyway, the store is in Altaloma, which is about 40 miles east of Los Angeles.
And if somebody wanted to, like, you know, come to you to buy the skulls or some of the other cool stuff you have on your label, where could they find you?
Easy. They can come to the record store directly, or they can order online, just drstrange.com. It's the biggest, literally, website in the world for rare punk rock shirts, bondage pants, leather jackets, you name it. I'm really proud of the mail order. It really is the best, the biggest in the world.
And the best part about it is I'm a spokesmodel for, for the website.
Do we give our sincere appreciation of?
No, kind of. I don't know how sincere it was.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, you did big time.
I'll let Kevin start.
Can you get out there now?
Oh, well, it's going to take a sec.
You know, I'll tell you, Kev, there has been a few band members, label people, they have gotten Dr. Strange tattoos.
Oh,
I don't
really?
see any on you.
You can't see mine. It's, there's going to be kids buying this.
Oh, okay.
thing.
Oh, so you mean it's
One of
very,
those
very
things.
small?
It's a no.
Microscopic?
Whoa, no. It's a Tommy Lee tattoo. Man. It's, you know, it's the full-length version of Doctor Strange. Yeah, no, I guess if I could show that, you could see the appreciation. But I'll quickly. You can't pan down, but I'll real quick.
Add some sound effects.
Yeah. Anyways, I've got it out.
Yeah, drop some on the ground.
On top of being a great label, Bill's a great friend, you know.
Yeah, we're all
Crystal,
friends.
yeah, we're all friends. And
We really are.
That's really
Love these
important
guys.
too,
I
yeah.
sincerely do.
It's important too to have the right, you know, have a good foundation of people around you, you know.
Yeah,
and
I've
that's
been through it
part
the
of
other
our
way as well,
success.
and it sucks.
Yeah, so I think that's what's helped us is just, and Bill being like right up there with the top, you know, for sure.
Nice. He had sappy music behind it.
So, have a nice day.
No, that came out good, you guys. All of us. Cool.
Where's the hug?
Yeah, where's the group hug?
I don't like him that much.
Oh,
Oh, how sensitive is this?
I really do love these guys.